What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. I need to talk about a more serious topic today. And no, the title of this video is not clickbait. The government, in fact, is coming for your children. They have made this very well known throughout the last few years, whether we're talking about radical surgeries that slow population growth, we'll say. You'll have to forgive my censorship in this video to speech, because algorithms tend to push down on this kind of content, as well as certain words that are used. So please forgive me for that. I want to make sure this information gets out to those who need it. Before I get into this, please leave a thumbs up, a comment, share this out on social media. This video is going to get absolutely hammered, but it's important to put it out because the information needs to be out there. We've discussed on this channel multiple times. MAID. If you're not aware of what MAID is, it's medical assistance in unaliving people. I had a huge issue a few years back when the government made announcements that they were offering this to those who were clinically depressed because it's a disability. They said they were extending it to those with disabilities. The problem when it comes to depression, the problem when it comes to thoughts that you may or may not incur while depressed, is that these are temporary. I've covered many stories on this channel of our veterans who have given their bodies to this country, their lives to this country, in terms of their physical ability to live a normal daily life. And they've been told, when they've reached out to the government for assistance, that, hey, this program is probably a better option for you because it's cheaper for us to dispose of you than to actually help you. But when migrants come to this country, or timmigrants, to leech off of our welfare programs, well, we don't have a problem spending millions of dollars putting them in hotel rooms, giving them $9,000 a month in living costs, brand new furniture, a home, you name it. But now we're saying that children are susceptible to this. Let's take a look at what we're talking about, because people are going to say, Fringe, just quit beating around the bush. Let's get to it. It's very hard for me to discuss this. I've seen this in my day-to-day life. I know people affected by this kind of stuff. I'm sure you do as well. Nobody wants to think about anybody having to bury their children. But this just shows you how much the government cares. Now, this was making its rounds on social media over the long weekend. I want to be very clear. This pamphlet is from a Christian-run organization that is talking about certain legislation, certain rules within Canada's legislation that is pushing this program onto children, or at least wanting to make it available to children. BC Perspective tweeted out over the weekend, BC ostriches are the canary in the coal mine of our society is so sick as to remove 400 healthy animals for no scientific reason. Government knows they have a green light to go after problem citizens. So they're talking about the issue with the ostriches in BC. I know everybody saw about that. I reached out to that farm, never heard back. So I wanted to talk to them personally before putting out that story. So I apologize we didn't cover it here on the channel, but if you watch other political channels, it was covered there. It says Canada's government wants to cull children legally. Let's take a look at the pamphlet. Now, again, this is not a government-issued pamphlet. I want to be very specific on that because, again, I don't want this video slapped for misinformation. But what it says, it believes the laws are. And I have to say that for all intensive purposes. Made for children and teens. A special committee of MPs and senators studying this program has recommended allowing it for mature minors. A mature minor is a child or teen who is deemed capable of making a decision for this procedure. This would essentially remove the minimum age of eligibility. The committee also suggested parents may not be consulted, and wouldn't need to consent to their child's decision via this program. says down here, children are uniquely vulnerable. Canada's first priority must be to provide high quality medical care for children. The problem here that I see with this, the problem I see with the diagnosis of depression and removing the age of consent. How many teenagers do you know that, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, my life is over, I failed a class, my college application didn't go through, it's all over for me, it's the end of the world, the universe is crumbling. How many people jump the gun? And how many teenagers think that they know everything about the world and grow up to find out they didn't know anything? I know I was one of them. I still am. Still act like one at least. Because I don't know everything. I know I pretend to on this channel, but you never truly know everything. Moments of distress, and speaking as somebody who is manic depressive, you have your good days, you have your bad days. This is not the answer. Children especially, teens especially, need social services, they need counseling, they need possible medication, especially with everything that's introduced to them these days. Here's the remainder of that pamphlet. Ryan Garrettson, again, fantastic X account. Go and follow Ryan Garrettson. How effed up is Canada? This effed. Why wait for care when you can remove yourself sooner? Made for mental illness. Mental illness is set to take effect as of March 2027. Hopelessness and desire to use this program can be a symptom of some mental illnesses. Many Canadians struggle with their mental health. There are long waiting lists for treatment, and it can be expensive. 1 in 10 people will wait more than 4 months for counseling. The waiting period for this program is only 3. We are already hearing about people asking for the service because they do not have the support needed to live. And we know this because, again, I covered stories on the channel of a man who was destitute. He was about to go homeless. He said, I might as well take the program because I don't want to live on the streets. Again, I have shared stories of veterans who have been told, well, if you can't handle reality, we might offer this service to you because you're a liability. You're too expensive to keep here. We don't have those services for you. I'm not sure about every province across the country, but I can tell you that there are distress programs in Alberta. I know people that have used them. I know for a fact that when you call these outreach services, there are counseling services available immediately, should you require them. I'm not sure where these facts are being dug up from. I'm not sure. Again, I will reiterate, this is a Christian-favored organization shedding light on the program. This is not, per se, the word of the government. But if this is the case, why advertise that it's easier to dispose of you than to give you the help you need? If people really want to go into the context of this, let's take a look at the actual article that David Lametti was responsible for back in February of 2023. And again, I remember covering this on the channel. Minors should be eligible for this program, Parliamentary Committee says. Canada's laws should be expanded to include minors, a Parliamentary Committee has recommended in a report tabled in the House of Commons. After hearing from nearly 150 witnesses and reviewing more than 350 briefs on Canada's program, the Special Joint Committee of MPs and Senators concluded that minors deemed to have the appropriate decision-making capability should be eligible for said program. A number of witnesses noticed Canadian minors are already allowed to make decisions about withholding or ceasing treatment, even when such decisions may hasten their existence on this planet, while others said they feel the decision to seek it is simply too weighty for a minor to make. I agree. The mind is not yet fully developed. Coping skills are not fully developed. You can't just rush people into this. It shouldn't be an option, period. This is, in my opinion, this is a procedure that should be similar to what happens with your pets. You know, if it's about quality of life, if it's about, look, there's no other options, this takes the pain away, I feel those are the only instances that this should be permitted. And even then, only in extreme cases. It's so hard to talk about when you think about kids. A number of witnesses noticed Canadian minors are already allowed. Oh, sorry, we went through that. Many witnesses told the committee they strongly believe the capability for a minor to make an informed healthcare decision is not a function of age, nor is a level of suffering they may endure during an illness, a view supported by clinical observations, the report said. In the end, the committee agreed that many factors can influence a minor's decision-making capability. Therefore, it believes the eligibility for this program should not be denied on the basis of age alone. So again, they're pushing for every semantic to say, well, let's just make it available, though. Let's find the loopholes. Parliamentarians also recommend the federal government appoint an independent expert panel. You always know who's full of those things, to evaluate criminal code provisions for assisted mature minors. Also said access to this program for minors should be restricted to those whose natural results are reasonably foreseeable. So again, all of this is understandable. If it's a worst case, let's say terminal, if it's terminal and we're taking pain away, fine. The problem is the rules with this program stating that depression is a mental disability and it then makes you viable for this. Conservatives offered a dissenting opinion, however, saying that they cannot endorse every recommendation, notably those related to minors. They stressed that significant knowledge gaps exist when it comes to minors and this program, and that issues around decision-making capability of mature minors remain unresolved. So long as these issues remain unresolved, it would be irresponsible for the Liberal government to move ahead with any expansion of the program for mature minors. Conservative members of the committee state in the report. The recommendations to expand the eligibility of this program were among 23 proposed changes to improve Canada's assisted regime made by special committee. This is the issue that we come up with when it comes to discussing this. That based on the information on this Christian pamphlet, based on past articles covering committees and people talking about this, we have a major crisis on our hands. What is going to happen with our children? What is going to happen with this new government, especially as Mark Carney is allegedly in discussions with NDP members to possibly cross the floor to give a majority government? Keep in mind, in 2023, Justin Trudeau had a minority government. What happens when they have a majority? What happens when we don't properly fund our programs to ensure our children are getting what they need to cope with reality? Especially in a reality so divided and so obscured as we live in currently. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you believe that this is some sinister plot with the government? Do you believe that they're just completely clueless as to what people need? Or do you think that it's a nothing burger, that it's not going to go anywhere, that there's no need to panic at all? Because believe me, I've heard that argument on the scale as well. Let me know your thoughts down below. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure as you're hitting that button, turn on your bell for all notifications. Join me live here on the channel each and every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, our weekly live streaming show where I'm joined by the beautiful Mrs. Fringe as we go back and forth throughout everything that happened this week in politics, everything that comes up in the week ahead that we're aware of, as well as back and forth within the greatest YouTube community on the platform. I look forward to chatting with you guys outside of making these videos, but I most importantly look forward to chatting with you this Friday starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the information in this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.